Hello and welcome to Sandra's Homespun Life. In today's video, I'm going to make my low-carb Mexican cornbread, and I'm going to try to fix it in the Ninja Foodi. And I'll be using these little jumbo-sized silicone molds. Now I'll leave the recipe down in the description box below. That way, if you want to give this recipe a try, you could click on that link and it'll take you to the page to print out the recipe. That way it makes it simple for you to have the recipe if you need it. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you can stay up to date on my latest videos and updates. Okay, let's go ahead and get right in on this recipe. So I'm going to be going over the ingredients that I'll be using for my cornbread. I'll be using some almond flour. I have some frozen corn, 3 eggs, some sour cream, some diced jalapeno, diced onion, some thickly shredded cheddar cheese. I have some melted butter. I have some baking powder, salt, red pepper flakes, and some cumin. So let's go ahead and get started and get this mixed up and ready to go. So my first step is I'm going to add all of my dry ingredients first. So to my 2 cups of almond flour, I'm going to add my baking powder, my salt, my cumin, and my red pepper flakes. And with a fork, I'm just going to stir this up until it's all mixed up real good. Okay, now that I have all that mixed well, I'm going to take a fork and beat these eggs and add them to my dry mixture. So now I'm just going to add that to my mixture. Next, I'm going to add my melted butter and my sour cream. And I'm just going to stir and mix these up and try to get the mixture well blended. Okay, now that I have my batter formed, I'm going to start adding my vegetables next. So my diced jalapenos, my diced onion, my whole kernel corn, and I'm going to stir and mix those into the batter. And last but not least, I'm going to add my cheddar cheese. And now I'm going to stir that up and get it all mixed in real well. Okay, now that I have my cornbread mixture well mixed, it's ready to go. So I'm just going to start filling my jumbo muffin cups and get them ready to go into the Ninja Foodi. Okay, so I have all my muffin cups filled. I filled them approximately about 3/4 cup full, and I got 9 muffins out of this. So for my next step, I'm going to set these muffins off to the side and allow them to set for a minute. And I'm going to get my Ninja Foodi hooked up, and I'm going to start getting that preheated and ready to bake these cornbread muffins. So now that I have my Ninja Foodi hooked up, I'm going to click the power button, and I'm going to select the bake button. And I'm going to allow this to preheat to 300 degrees. And I'll be baking my muffins, I'm thinking probably around 30 minutes should do it. I'll kindly check them at the halfway mark if I feel like I need to. But I'm going to click start and allow that to preheat. And once it's preheated, I'll bring you all back and we'll get these muffins in the oven. Okay, the Ninja has preheated. So now I'm carefully going to start adding these cornbread muffins to the Ninja Foodi. So I'm going to allow these to cook for 30 minutes, and like I said, I might come back and check in about 15 minutes to see how they're coming along. Okay, it's about at the halfway mark, so I'm just going to peek at these cornbread muffins real quick. And they look like they're coming along nicely, so I'm just going to allow that to go for the next 15 minutes, give or take. Of course, if I start smelling them like they're burning or something, I'll come running and checking on them. But hopefully I've got it timed right, and they'll turn out just right. So I'll bring you back in just a moment. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes, so I'm going to raise the lid on this and check them out because I'm starting to smell them cook a little bit, and we'll see how far they've progressed. They already look fairly brown, so let me just stick a toothpick in one. And that's coming out clean. So I say those are done. So I'm going to remove one. Actually, I'm going to get my baking rack out, and I'm going to take all these out and set them on the baking rack and allow them to cool for a bit. These little tongs that I got at the Dollar Tree have really come in handy. Okay, so from here I'm going to click stop and turn the power off on my Ninja Foodi. I'm going to allow these to cool. Once they've cooled a little bit, I'll bring you back and I'll try one out. Okay, I couldn't wait, so this one hasn't completely cooled, but I wanted to go ahead and try it real quick so I can finish up my video because I've got to get to cooking dinner. So I'm just going to go ahead and try this out. Now I split it in half and allowed it to cool, and it cooled a little bit quicker. These are still pretty hot. They taste just right. Very soft in the middle. They have a very tender texture. Really good. If you're doing a low carb diet, I highly suggest giving my recipe a try. I can't have regular cornbread because the carb count's just so high, it's not worth it. I can only have like a very small little sliver, and that's why I was determined to come up with this lower carb variation, and it really hits the spot when you're craving cornbread, or the Mexican cornbread in this case. So I thank you all for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I always look forward to hearing from you all, and until next time, guys, bye.